Hello and welcome to Friday's second edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and that's if you don't count the Cracking the Minute Cryptic and the Wordle in a Minute videos, where we're going to be trying Sudoku. Obviously, this puzzle on the screen is called "There's Something in the Shadows." It's by Sujoyku and ChinStrap. It's a collaboration between two phenomenal setters, and we've had this recommended a lot actually, and it's been one of those puzzles that has been on our to-do list, but then we got another recommendation yesterday saying we really should do this, so that's tipped us over the edge, and we're going to have a look at it. I found it on Logic Masters Germany. I don't know if you'll be able to, or will you be able to see that? Oh yes, you can nearly. Oh, actually, when I've put the rules on, maybe you won't be able to see, but it's got a 97% approval rating and a whole host of really terrific comments. If we just scroll down here, basically everyone says it's absolutely wonderful or brilliant or adjectives like that. So I'm looking forward very much to having a go at this. It's some sort of yin yang hybrid with split lines. But I think we'll have to concentrate when we read the rules together to really understand what's going on. But we'll do that in a moment or two's time. Now, the reason this is the second main video today is that earlier on, with it being Friday, there was a masterclass video, of course, where we have a go at the Times crossword and try and talk you through our thoughts, such as they are. And today's puzzle was by James McGackie, who is a fantastic setter. So if you are into your cryptic crossword solving, or you want to get better at cryptic crossword solving, I really recommend those Friday videos to you. I think you might enjoy them. And there's a lot to admire in any puzzle by James. So that's on the channel already. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. What else can I tell you about? Oh, we're streaming on Monday. More blueprints, of course. Over on Patreon, we've got the Sandra and Nala competition running at the moment. Loads of fog Sudokus in that. Do get involved in that. There's also a bonus crossword video by Mark. Trying to think what else is going on. There's Rat Run merchandise. There's a Blob's Worm coming very soon as well. So that's a new app coming out. But I've also got some birthdays to do. So let me look at my list of birthdays. Carol, it's your birthday today. I know this because your boyfriend Daniel wrote to me. I think the two of you are in Vancouver in Canada. And I've got a message for you, Carol, from Daniel, who writes, "I'm sorry I can't be with you on your 26th birthday while you travel with your family in England, but I'm so excited to celebrate with you when you get back with lots of chocolate cake. Blink, blink, blink." I don't know what the blinks mean, but I gather the blinks were an important part of the message. I mean, maybe I should have just done blinks like this. I'm not sure. But anyway, that was the message, Carol. Many happy returns. I hope you enjoy that chocolate cake. And I hope you enjoy England. You've certainly got some decent weather if you are here at the moment. Now, the other birthday is Emma. Emma, your boyfriend Theo wrote to me. And claimed that you watch all our videos. If that's true, thank you so much for doing that. That's quite a commitment, because there must be close to 2 hours of content every day, if not more on most days. So that's amazing, Emma. Thank you for doing that. I think you even use the videos to fall asleep to sometimes. I've been told many people do. But I hope you have a great birthday, Emma, and I hope that you get some very heavily iced chocolate cake. I think that's all the news. Shall we have a look at the rules of There's Something in the Shadows by Sujoyku and ChinStrap? The rules of this one are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules applying, so we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Then we've got yin yang, so we have to shade some cells. All shaded cells are orthogonally connected, and all unshaded cells are orthogonally connected, and every 2x2 contains both shaded and unshaded cells. So, now this isn't quite as nefarious as Marty's Rat Run puzzle this week, which was a yin-yang puzzle, but I couldn't do my normal example. This is my normal example of a possible yin-yang shading, so let's do this. And the reason that this is a valid shading is you can see that all the green cells are connected to each other through other green cells that share an edge. So if, for example, we added this to the panoply of green cells, this now is not a valid yin-yang shading because this green does not touch other greens along an edge. It only touches them at a vertex, and that's not sufficient for orthogonal connection. So if we restore that one to being purple, this now works. You see, double-click the purples, they all share an edge with one another. Double-click the greens, the same is true. And I think if you hunt in this grid and look at any 2x2, you won't find any 2x2 that's only one colour. So this is a valid yin-yang shading, but I doubt it's going to be the one that we're required to use. Now, the next rule says Yin Yang Split Lines. Yin Yang borders split lines into two or more segments with the same sum. If two cells are adjacent along the line, they are in the same segment if and only if they have the same shading. Digits may not repeat within a segment. Every line contains shaded and unshaded cells. Now, I thought what we might do here is look at the example. Actually, hang on, there's only one more rule, so let's just read this last rule. Segment counters. A digit in a circle on a line indicates how many total segments that line has. Okay, that makes sense. So, but there was an example here. I don't know if will you be able to see that? Probably that will appear, I think, just on the screen. But let's think about what this means. So in this example, you can see there's some green shading and some grey shading. And these two cells on the left add up to 5. Yeah, and the grey segment there is a 5 because it's just a one-cell segment. And then you've got a 4 plus a 1 green segment, and then another 5 in the grey. And the 4, what was the 4 doing? A digit in a circle. Oh, how many total segments the line has? So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes sense. Yeah, okay. I think I can get on board with that. I think I understand that. Let me just check. There are no more rules. I can't scroll any further. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, do we have a 9? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a 9-cell region. So does that have to be, there was something about not repeating digits in segments, wasn't there? Does that have to be an extra region of the puzzle? Let me just check the rules. Digits may not repeat. No, sorry. Okay, digits may not repeat within a segment, not along a line. Oh, and that's why in the example we had 2 5s. Right, sorry. Okay, yeah, so that isn't an extra region. If there was, yeah, so say you had a segment that was a segment. Although by Sudoku they could have the same number in them, they couldn't in this puzzle because they would be in the same segment, and that there is a rule that says you can't repeat digits within a segment. But there is not a rule that says you can't repeat digits along a line. So that's oh, I tell you what we should do. We should probably just quickly talk about the secrets of yin yang, shouldn't we? Because they're almost certainly going to be important. Now, what can I tell you about yin yang? What we can't have in this grid is any 2x2 that looks like that looks like a checkerboard. And that is because the rules of yin yang require every green cell to connect to every other green cell through green cells that share an edge with it. So although we could connect these greens up using some sort of pattern, you can see that were we to do that, one of these purples, in this case this one, is sort of in a pond of green. It can't get out. It can't form an orthogonal connection with this purple, because to do so it would have to cross the green boundary. So you can't have a checkerboard anywhere. Now, what does this mean? This means, well, firstly, we can't have any checkerboards, but it has an implication for the perimeter. So in a yin-yang puzzle, it is possible for the perimeter to be one colour. That's fine. That doesn't breach the rules. It's possible for the perimeter to have 2 colours in it, like this. But let's say we reach this state and we weren't sure about the colours of these two cells. Could either of these be purple? No, because if they are, we have this checkerboard problem. It's just on a bigger scale, because we know that this purple has to connect to the rest of its purple friends. And however we do that, whatever circuitous route we take to achieve that purple connection, this green, now on the left, can't connect to this green on the right. So it just won't work. So what we can have in the perimeter of a yin-yang is either a single coloured perimeter or a stretch of one colour, then a stretch of the other colour, but we can't have more colour than that. There can't be more changes of colour than that. And often with yin-yang, that is what we have to do to start. So we'd have to conclude maybe both of those have to have a change of colour on them. Certainly those circles can't be huge numbers, can they? That we know that any line in the puzzle has at least two segments, because that was a rule. It said that every line had to contain shaded and unshaded digits. So these can't be, well, they can't be 4. Neither of those can be 4, because that would be saying there's 4 different segments, and they would definitely have the same number in them. If we tried to make, so if we tried to have 4 different segments, it would have to look like that. And indeed, that would be isolated, and all these would have to have the same number in them. That's nonsense. So these have to be 2 and 3, don't they? And 3 is quite surprising, because how's that working then? You've got 4 lines, or 4 cells on the line, and 3 segments, so there would have to be 2 one-cell segments and 1 two-cell segment, which would mean, no, you can do that then, can't you? Because those 2 could be the same, or these 2 could be the same. You'd have to repeat, because you'd have 2 one-cell segments. Whatever the segment total was for that line would have to repeat, and therefore would have to cross so one of those would have to be, and this one would have to be, and this one having to be would force that one to be. Or on this line, this would have to be, and that would have to be. So either those are the same digit or these are the same digit, which means one of those digits is definitely a 2. No, it's definitely a 3, because that's going to be what happens on the 3-cell line. Or no, not the 3-cell line, the 4-cell line that is split into 3 segments. Now, well, what that does mean is that there is at least one change of colour in the perimeter in those cells. At least one. There might have to be 2, which would make the whole of the rest of the perimeter. So imagine there had to be, imagine each of these T's in the perimeter had to be 2 colours. Then you could do, without thinking about it too carefully, you could do something like that. That would work. This is 2 colours, this is 2 colours. But then the green, we couldn't introduce any more purple in the perimeter. So the whole of the rest of the perimeter would have to be 1 colour. 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay, hang on. I hadn't spotted this, but there's a point that's emerging down here. Well, that's really interesting. So actually, right. How do I explain this? Okay. I'm going to concentrate on this first. So let's just deal with why this can't all be 1 colour. This can't all be 1 colour because one of these lines, don't know which one, is split into 3 segments. And you can see that both of these would actually have to be purple because we know every line is split into two colours at least. It's split into two segments at least. And you can see now that these three cells, they're all in the same segment. Those three are in the same segment. So neither of these T's has been split into three. So that's definitely wrong. So there is definitely a break in the perimeter up here. Now, what I hadn't realised is there is actually definitely a break in the perimeter in this sort of upside down pipe region down here, because let's say that we tried to keep these all the same colour. We've now got a 4-cell segment here at least, depending on whether this is green. But 4 different cells in Sudoku will sum to at least 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10, which means any other segments that we input on this line must be 2-cell segments. But that means, what are we going to do here? We know we've got to introduce some purple, so these are going to have to both be purple in order to enable the purple segment to sum to at least 10. But then this is a 1-cell segment now. And that should have to contain a 10 or whatever those 4 cells add up to. That won't work. So, right. So what we've learned now is that in terms of our yin-yang perimeter, we have found all the breaks of colour that we're permitted to have. There is one in one of those, and there is one in one of those. So the rest of the perimeter must be consistently coloured. In other words, whatever colour this is has to go round the grid to there. And whatever colour this is has to go round the grid to here. Because remember, we know this is not the same colour as this. We know this is not the same colour as this. We've just proved that. Okay, I don't know what that means quite, but what it does mean that I can see quickly is that this cell has to now be purple to avoid a 2 by 2. That has to be purple to avoid a 2 by 2. That has to be green to avoid a 2 by 2, and that has to be green to avoid a 2 by 2. Nori nori. Now, here's something. That can't be green. I can see that straight away, because if it was green, I'd have 2 1-cell segments on this line in the same column. So they would contain the same digit, whatever the segment total was for this line, and that would break Sudoku. So that's got to be purple. And now this digit is at least a 6. Because we're summing those 3 digits, which we know don't contain a repeat, so they're at least a 1 plus a 2 plus a 3, to arrive at the total for this. And we must avoid a 2 by 2 there, and here. No. Well. Can we do any better than that? Yeah, we can do this one. If that was purple, I'd have a 1-cell segment here, because it immediately changes to a green, and I've got a 1-cell segment there, because that immediately changes to a green. Well, these would be the same digit then, wouldn't they? So this one's got to be green. Oh, right. Hang on. This digit can't be purple for a similar reason. If that's purple, then we've got 2 1-cell segments in the same box which would contain the same digit. So that's green. Now I can avoid a 2 by 2 here and here. No, that is okay. I was thinking, oops, I've introduced another 1-cell segment, but that's fine, isn't it? Because this 1-cell segment doesn't see that. These 2 digits are going to be the same because they're both 1-cell segments on the same line, but they're not in the same box, row, or column. So Sudoku is not going to preclude that. Let's avoid a checkerboard for the first time there. Look, this green has to get out, so we're going to create a little T pentomino. The Tetris has become more complicated as a result of this extension to make sure the greens can get out. Now, I think, okay, yeah, I'm getting used to this idea that what you have to do is not create 1-cell segments in the same box. So this has to be purple. If it was green, these two would contain the same digit. So that's purple. This green has to get out now. Now, well, these can't both be green. So this can't be green, actually. That one can't be green. Because if it was green, let me just show you, this would have to be purple to avoid a 2 by 2. And now that's a one-cell segment and that's a one-cell segment. Again, they would contain the same digits. So that's purple. And now this is actually green. Because if it was purple, we'd be adding 4 different digits to get that green digit. And that's not going to work for the same reason that we were looking at here. If this was purple, this would be at least a 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. And the triangular number for 4 is 10. I can't write 10 in there. So this digit is purple. And those 2 digits, oh, right, these 2 digits are the same. And if this was a 1, 2, 3 triple, oh, hang on, it can't be a 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on. This can't be a 6 because of this cell. If this was a 6, this would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, and that would break this cell. So it's more than 6. It's at least 7. But it's the same as this. These two are the same. And if that was a 2, these would be at least 8. And if it was a 3, we could do 1, 2, 4. So we can't. There must be a 1 on this segment actually, because if there wasn't, it would be a 2. The only way of keeping these down to 9 would be to make this 2, 3, 4, and that would break this cell. So there is a 1 on one of those. I'm not sure. Maybe I should record that. I don't know. Do we know? Those can't both be purple now, so it's at least one of these is green. So if one of these has to be a 3, and I am a little bit confused about what exactly that means. If that's a 3, then I think that has to be a 3 as well. Yeah, if that's a 3, what we're saying is this 4-cell line is divided into 3 different segments, which means there are 2 one-cell segments on it. And those 2 one-cell segments will contain the same digit. So they can't be, those 2 segments can't be in those 3 cells. So this would be one of the 1-digit segments, and it would be a 3. And then the repeated 3 would be here. So these would both be, no, this doesn't work. Because well, you can make it work on this line. That would be a 3. That would be a 3, a purple 3 actually, because in order to have 3 segments, we'd have to have some green on the line. But the green would have to be a 1, 2 pair, summing to 3. And now this cell can't exist because it can't be a 2 anymore. It's quite complicated actually, isn't it? But I think it's right. So this is a 2, and this one is a 3. Now again, we've got to think this through, because what we've learned is there are 2 one-cell segments that can't fit into the 3-cell segment, that can't both be in box 1, can they? So this is one of the one-cell segments, and that must be the other one, because they can't, whatever this digit x is, it's got to repeat in a 1-cell segment, which obviously can't be in these 2 cells. So those are the same, and therefore they are both purple, because this must be a 2-cell green segment. And I can avoid a checkerboard here. So those 2 digits, well, no, these 2 digits add up to those 2 digits. Oh, no, right, okay, but this is fine, isn't it? Because now we've figured out exactly where the break in the perimeter is in the top row. So these all have to be purple. That's beautiful. So this has to be green. That one has to be green, or that's a purple 2x2. This, look at this. This now has to be purple to avoid a 2x2, and now that has to be purple to avoid a checkerboard. This has to be green to avoid a 2x2. And that one, I can see that one has to be green. Hang on, I'll just do that one because I can see it quickly to make a dog. That's actually one of the rules of the puzzle. It did say you have to make a dog in the top right, and I've done it. No, that's not really true. You have to get this green out. That's the real reason that we had to create a dog. We pet the dog, as we always do in blueprints, or nearly always do. Okay, so this is a 2-cell segment, but if that was purple, right, we could do more here. So let's look at this funny squiggly line here. If this was purple, what would this be? We'd have to avoid a checkerboard. So this would be purple. And now I'd have 4 purples in a row on this line, but we know there's some green on the line. It would have to be here. And then we'd be saying this green is equal to the sum of those 4 different values in purple. That's nonsense, isn't it? So that's got to be green. So these two, we don't know, do we? Because you could have 2 purples there, perhaps. If you had... No, you don't know, because you could have 3 greens here. That would be fine. 3 greens equal 2 purples. That would make this purple. Oh, I just had a weird idea. Yeah, okay, hang on. I've just had a very strange idea that that actually might not do very much because I've only got 2 circles. I don't know. But what I was thinking is, if you have any line in this puzzle and you're working out what the circled value is, if you know what the ends of the line, how they're coloured, like this one is green and that one is green, so we know that there must be an odd number of segments on it, because it's going to go green, then purple, then green again, and then purple, and then green again. So there's going to be an odd number of overall segments. So this is 3, 5, 7, or 9. We know it can't be 9. It can't be 9, because that would mean every cell was a different segment. That's nonsense. It's probably quite difficult for it to be 7. Because no, it can't be 7. Because if it was 7 segments, there would surely be too many 1-cell segments on it. Because if there were 7 segments, there would be 2 segments at most that contain 2 cells each, and then the remaining 7 cells would be 1-cell segments, and this only goes through 3 boxes. So you could put a 1-cell segment here, a 1-cell segment here, and a 1-cell segment there. But you're going to have loads more 1-cell segments along the line, and that's going to contain the same digit, and it's going to repeat. So this is not 7. Can this actually be 3? I mean, this is such a peculiar thought, but I don't think it can be 3, because this is tantamount. Well, no, it's not. Tantamount's the wrong word. It is quite clearly, it is patently, let's use that word, it is patently a 1-cell segment. So what is the maximum length of this purple segment? It's 3, isn't it? If it was a 4-cell segment, this would be a 10 at least, which it can't be. So this purple segment could go to there, but that means this is the earliest arrival. This would be the green final segment, and that would be a 5-cell segment. So this is a 5. Now, the weird thing is that takes all the pressure off the line, you rotten old thing. Okay, let's just have a quick look at this one, though, because this is quite different. This starts with purple and ends in green, so this has got an even number of segments on it. So this is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, or 6 it is. Except it's not 2, look, by Sudoku. So it can't be 6. No, it can't have 6 segments on it. Because there would be 5 one-cell segments across 2 boxes of the Sudoku. You're definitely going to have to repeat a digit in the one-cell segments. So this is a 4. 4 is quite surprising, to be honest. Hang on. 4 here stops this being 7. Because 7 would require this triple to be 1, 2, 4. No. Right. What is the minimum sum of those 3 digits now? Well, it's 135. And 135 is 9. We can't make this add up to more than 9, so it is 9. This is 135. This is 9. 9 is in one of those 3 cells. If it was there, that would be a 9. That would break. So it's not there. So it's not in the corner. It's sort of off the lines. We've done a lot of damage now in column 7. This is a 6, 7, 8 triple. Yeah, okay, but this is the biggest number on this line. Oh, and it's there as well. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that digit is there because these are both one-cell segments. So now I've got a 6, 7, 8 triple in box 3. That can't be a 9. So this has got very low digits on it as well. It's a 3-cell segment adding up to a maximum of 8. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry. Can't we do more here, though? This can't be 8, because we're adding 8 to this digit to get that digit. In fact, what is that? What is this digit? It's got to be a 1. It can't, if it's a 3, the minimum segment total for this is 3 plus 6, and that can't be a 9, so that's a 1. And then we're adding, so this is not 8, because this has to be, so this is not 6, so that is not 6. And these are consecutive, actually, aren't they? So they must include a 7, because this is either going to be a 6 and then a 7 here, being the sum of 1 plus 6, or it's going to be a 7 here. 7 plus 1 is 8, so there's definitely a 7 in there, so that's not a 7. That digit is not 1 or 2. No. Not sure. I feel like I should be able to do something with that. I mean, these digits are from 3, 4, 5, and that is not a 3 by Sudoku. The reason these are from 3, 4, 5 is just Sudoku. 1, 2 have already appeared in the box, 6, 7, 8 have appeared in the box, and 9 is pencil marked. So I think these have to be from 3, 4, 5. So this digit, which is summing to 7 or 8. So what's the most this can be? It can't be a 5. Oh, it could be a 5. No, it could be a 5. 5 plus 3. Oh, no, it can't be a 5. Hang on. What is that digit? Oh, it could be a 2. That's annoying. 2, 3, 4 is what it is. Can't be 1. Can't be 6 because we'd be adding at least 3 to it. And this not being able to be 9. Trying not to sneeze. Sorry. It is. Hay fever season is coming, isn't it? 1. Didn't this, yeah, this line has to have a 1 on it, because it's only adding up to 6, 7, or 8. Imagine it didn't have a 1 on it. Minimum it would be 2, 3, 4. Adds up to 9. So it's got a 1 on it, which is in one of those two. Don't really want to do that pencil mark though, because a cross-box corner pencil mark is too naughty for words. Can that be... I'm wondering if we can get rid of something like 6 from this. It just feels like there's too many low digits in the world, doesn't it? This would be a 2 or a 3. That would be lots of low digits. This would have to be 6, 7, 8 in the column. As Maverick takes off again. In fact, where are 6, 7, and 8 in this column? You can't put them there. You can't put a 6 on a 3-cell line adding up to a maximum of 8, because 6 plus 1 plus 2 is 9, so that won't work. So none of those can be 6, 7, or 8. So 6, 7, and 8 are at the bottom of column 8. And these digits are 1, 2, 3, and 5, with a definite 2 in one of them. And that means there's definitely a 2 in one of those cells. So if this was 2, this would be 5. 2, 5, 4. No, Bobbins, I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. I can't quite see what's going on. Is it this line? 4. That's got to be into 4 segments. Oh, yes, I should have thought about this before. How can this be in 4 segments? That's quite a lot of segments. Although it's not actually, is it? For a 7-cell line, it doesn't mean there have to be 2 1-cell segments. Because you could have 3 2-cell segments and 1 1-cell segment. That would add up to 7. Although, okay, what you can't do, this can't be purple, this particular cell. Oh, that's going to be helpful, actually, for the row. If this was purple, then this segment here would add up to at least 10. But we've just said there must be at least one 1-cell segment. If you're splitting a line of length 7 into 4 different pieces, how would you not have a 1-cell segment? If you make the 4 segments each of length 2, it's going to be an 8-cell line. That won't work. So there is a 1-cell segment, and so this can't be purple, because that 1-cell segment would have to add up to 10. So that's green, but that does something in the perimeter, because this green has to connect. So now, well, now that's not a 6, because now this is a 3-cell segment. It can't be a 4-cell segment. We've already looked at that point many times. So this is not a 6, because this can't be a 1, 2, 3 segment. That is purple to prevent the segment being too long. And this is either a 1, 2 pair, if this is a 7, or it's a 1, 3 pair, this is an 8. Now, well, that cell is purple because of, hang on, that's purple to avoid a 2 by 2. We must avoid a checkerboard here. So that's purple. Now this is green to avoid a 2 by 2. This is green to avoid a 2 by 2. And this is green to avoid a checkerboard. Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? It's really smooth, actually. Now, if that was a lone purple, it would be the same as this. But if it was a double purple... Oh, it can't be double purple, because that would be the same as this. Yeah, if this is double purple here, this has a single cell green, and it should be the same digit as that purple, so that's wrong. So this is a single purple, so that's a double green, and this is the same digit as that one. Those are the same. Let's actually record that, make sure that we recognize. So there's an A digit up there somewhere. I probably Can't do it. I was going to suddenly make this one B, but actually that could be A, couldn't it? It looks like it may well be A. I'm not sure then. That can't be a 1 in the corner, because there's definitely a 1 on this line. That can't be a 1 either. No, it can't be, because these two lines here both have 1 on them, because this is only adding up to 6, 7, or 8. So there's a 1 on that line, and there's a 1 on this line. So if this was a 1, now these columns would have 1, 2, 3, 4 1s in 3 columns. That won't work. So these are very small. 1 is in one of those. 1 is in one of those 3. Okay, let's pencil mark those in. So I'm saying that that's not a cross box pencil mark now. I'm saying 1 is in one of those 3. 1 is in one of those 2. So 1 is in one of these 3. By Sudoku. 5. Yeah, this digit. I didn't see this. This digit. This 2 cells. This is 2 segments. So this digit is a 7, 8, or 9, I'm going to claim. Because it's summing these 2 digits along with 2, and these can't be a 1, 3 pair because of this one. So this can't add up to 6. This is either there is a 1 actually on this segment, because if there wasn't, it would be at least 4 plus 5 we were adding to it, which wouldn't work anyway, but then the line would add up to at least 11, and I can't write 11 in here. So this is either a 1, 4 pair, a 1, 5 pair, or a 1, 6 pair, depending on what this is. Oh. And this digit is this digit is at least a 4, because it can't be 2, it can't be 1, and it can't be 3. So these 2 digits are at least 7. So we're very close. If this was an 8, that would be a 9. This digit is 4, 5, or 6, isn't it? Because we're adding it to 3 to get to 7, 8, or 9. And now, in the top row, I've got a 1, 4, 5, 6 quadruple. So this digit in the corner is a 7, 8, or a 9. I don't see what to do with that. Okay, what about 9 in this box? Can I do that? Because I know it can't go on this 2-cell segment, because that segment only adds up to 7 or 8. So 9's in one of those 3. So 9's in one of these 3. Bother. I'm getting stuck here. Do I know what these 2 add up to? Oh, I know they add up to 7 or 8, but I think they've got lots of options. I mean, literally, I think you could put a 7 on there. Oh, no, you couldn't put a 7 because there's a 1 here. No, you couldn't put a 7, but you could put any digit. It could be 2, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, I think. So oh, yin yang, look. Avoid a 2 by 2 there, so that's got to be a thingy. Oh, for goodness sake, Simon. Yeah, look. Oh, in fact, I'm seeing lots of things suddenly now. Avoid a checkerboard here. How long's that been available? Avoid a 2 by 2 here. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Now, here's another point that I just noticed. Look, single cell. So if this was green, I'd have 2 single cells in box 7. That's got to be purple. This has got to be green. This purple has to get out. I've virtually finished the yin yang. I've got 10 cells left of yin yang to do. Oh, no, and no, I haven't broken it. That's a 2-cell segment. I thought for a moment that was a 1-cell segment, but no, it's not. I've got a 1-cell segment equals a 2-cell segment equals a 3-cell segment. Well, this has got to be purple then, because if this was green, I'd have 4 cells adding up to that corner digit. So that's definitely purple, and therefore that's definitely purple to avoid a checkerboard. My doggy nearly has to go a-walking, doesn't it? Which either is going to involve this being green or those two being green. Or possibly even both, but I'm not sure. Possibly even both, actually, if that purple connected up there. So this digit in the corner is the sum of those 3 digits, and therefore it's at least a 6. Can that be 1, 2, 3? That would have to be... No, that won't work. This can't be a 6 in the corner, because this would be a 1, 2, 3 triple. Oh, in fact, 9. Oh, but sorry, but that won't work, because then I'd have a 1, 2, 3 triple in box 8, and these 2 cells would add up to at least, well, they'd be at least a 4 plus a 5, and supposed to only add to 7 or 8. So that won't work. So this is at least a 7. But 9 can't go on this segment, because these 3 cells are adding up to that one. Right. I've got something here. Right, look at this domino and this domino. Both of those dominoes have a 1 in, I think. According to my pencil marks, that does seem to be true. Now that's going to be important, because where is 1 in column 4? And the answer is in one of those 3 cells. But I think that means this segment hasn't got a 1 on it, because I've got a 1 in one of those 2 looking at that domino, and now I've got a 1 not here because I've got this 1 pencil mark. So this 3-cell segment has no 1 on it, which means its minimum sum is 2 plus 3 plus 4, which equals 9. So we're going to get 9 in the corner. Can that be a 1? That would be an 8. Maybe. So hang on, we've got 2, 3, 4 here. I've got a 5 here, but it depends, doesn't it? If that's green, if that's green, that's a 4, and that's a 9. Oh yeah, okay. So I don't know what this colour is of the 5. It's green or it's purple, but the point is, whatever it is, it makes a 1-cell segment in either green or purple, which has to contain a 9. And it makes a 2-cell segment with itself, which that 2-cell segment has to contain a 4, because 4 plus 5 equals 9. So this is a 4-9 pair. This is not a 4. 9 now. I've got a 9 in those 2. Is that a legitimate pencil mark? Probably is, isn't it? Yes, I couldn't put 9 on that segment. So where's 9 in column 4 now? And the answer is I don't know, but it's definitely in one of those 3 cells, which means it's definitely not there, which means this is not a 1-6 pair, which means the 6 in row... Oh, this is great. Where's the 6 in row 1? It's there. That's the only place it can go. So 3 plus 6 equals 9, which means this is a 9. This is not a 9. Nine is in this domino. I bet it can't go here. If it went there, well then those 2 would be part of a segment, because if it wasn't, that would be a 1-cell segment that would also have to be a 9. So the only way this can be a 9 is if this is in its segment, which would make it what colour? Don't know. But then those two would be... Oh, so this would be double green, and that would be double purple. And that would be purple. Those three would be purple. Don't know. Can't absolutely rule it out, but think it's quite unlikely. So, okay, what do we know about... I don't really know. I was looking at this cell, but I don't think I can tell. It's going to cause there to be a one-cell segment. Another one cell, well, not another, but because this will either be purple, which will make green a one cell segment, or it'll be green, which will make this a one cell segment. There is a one cell segment on this line in one of those three positions. One of either that one or that one is a one cell segment. But I don't think I can do anything with that. I suspect I've underdone my Sudoku, which is, it was ever thus. Or do we know? What's that got to be? That's not got very many. Oh, I'll tell you what, that might have to have a 2 or a 3 on it, you know. Because it doesn't have a 1 on it from this pencil mark. If it didn't have a 2 or a 3 on it, it would be a 4-5 pair and add up to too much. So there is a 2 or a 3 on there, and there is a 2 or a 3 on there, which uses up all the 2s and the 3s for the box. So that's got to be a 4. Now what does that do? These are different, so that's digits like, oh, that couldn't be a 2 or a 3 anyway. That can't be a 2 or a 3. So there's 2 or 3 on here. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This isn't 7. Because if this was 7, this would be a 1-2 pair. And there would be no way for that domino to add up to 7 because you'd deprive it of all possible recourse to do so. If this is 7, because this has to be 1-2 to make a 1-2-4 triple add up to 7, what pair are we using that adds up to 7 here if this is a 1-2 pair? Can't use 1-6, can't use 2-5, can't use 3-4. That doesn't work, so that's got to be 8. Now this doesn't include 2, so this does include 2. That's exactly what we've just said, so that's 2-6. This is 8. So this now is 6 or 7. So the digits, well, let's actually just remove all pencil marks. We know these digits are either a 1-2-3 triple, in which this is not a 1, or they're a 1-2-4 triple. Now, how can that? Well, that's not a 4 by Sudoku. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I don't think that's actually resolved it. No, it must have done something. Right. Look at box 6. I've got so many low digits pencil marked now. So I haven't pencil marked 6, 7, or 8. So they have to go here. Which means there's a 6, 7, 8 triple in this column. So this digit is 3, 4, or 5. Oh, we knew that anyway by Sudoku. I just didn't notice. The 5 in this box is in this domino, so it's not there. So this is 1 or 3. And this box, what do we need in it? 5s, 7s, and 9s, I think. And that can't be 5 because of this thingy. Oh, that's good. No, that's very helpful. Because that means there's a 5 in this domino. And now 5 is locked off this top line. So this top line is 1, 4, 2, adding up to 7. And that's a 5 now by Sudoku. So this is not a 5. This is not a 5. Does that do anything for us? It probably does. This digit can't be a 2 anymore because we couldn't make it add up to 7 or 8. So that is a 3, 4. Oh, that's great. That's done it. That's a 3, 4 pair. So this is a 7, which means that's a 7 in the corner. This is a 6, because 6 plus 1 equals 7. There's a knowledge bomb for you. This is a 2. That probably does something. These now aren't 7s. This is a 6, 8 pair. Now, what can we do with this? Don't know. I'm desperately trying to work it out. If that's a 7, that's a 7, isn't it? So that's a 7, that's a 7, that's a 6. That's going to do some work. Because now that 7 means we need this to be a 1, 4 pair, which actually we know the order of, apparently. So that's 4, that's 1, that's 3. Therefore, this is 3, this is 4, this is 3. That 3 means this is 2. Remember, this adds up to 9, so that's a different digit. This is 3, this is 3, this is 1. It's actually, that's 3 by Sudoku, of all things. Outrageous, being made to do Sudoku in a Sudoku puzzle. 8, I can just place in this box out of absolutely nowhere. 2, 5, and 5 I can place. This is a 2, 6 pair. I can do it. I can just finish this box off. Right, what do I need in row 2? 2 and 4. Okay, I can't do that. This is an 8 in the corner. 1, 5, 7 is what's lacking here. And this is 8. Oh, okay, right. There's definitely a 1 cell segment we said on here, which now we know adds up to 8. So, and I think it was in one of those 2. So I don't know then, do I? It could still be either way round. Or can it? No, that's rather beautiful, actually. If this was a 1 cell segment, this purple, so if this was double green, how would we make it add up to 8? It couldn't be 1, 7. It couldn't be 3, 5. And this digit can't be 2 or 6, so it couldn't work. So that's got to be double purple, which means this is green. Oh, is this working? Our dog's sort of lying down on its forepaws now, and it hasn't got out, so that's got to be green. But this is an 8. So that's an 8 and that's a 6. And these 2 digits add up to, that's lovely. It's got to be 1 and 7. It can't be 3, 5. It can't be 2, 6. So that's 7. That's 1. Now, so in this box, what do we need? 2, 6. Oh, we can put the 8 in. I think this is a 2, 6 pair, which we can also do. Good grief. This is actually, it's going quite well now. How long have I been going for? Nearly an hour. Okay, that has flown past. And, so this domino adds up to 9, and it's not 3, 6, and it's not 2, 7. So it's either 1, 8, which rather frustratingly looks possible, or it's 4, 5, which would have to be that way round. Okay, we're going to be able to do this, though, from this row. I've not put 5, 8, and 9 into it, and that digit seems to have to be a 5. So that's an 8, that's a 1, that's a 5, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 4. In this row, what have we not put in? 2, 9? That's very helpful. Oh, that's not very helpful. I didn't think that was going to be a 9, did I? Oh. How's that going to work then? How did I think this was going to work? So whatever colour this is, how could this be a different colour? No, it couldn't be. These are now the same colour, which means they add up to at least 10, which means it means this line is split up into two cell segments, which means this is double green. Let me just double check that I agree with myself about that, because if this, whatever colour this is, if this was different, it would be a one cell segment adding up to this digit plus some other digits, because it couldn't repeat the 9. And that won't work. You can't make a single digit add up to 9 plus another digit. So these are the same colour. We can't have a 3 cell segment adding up to that. So these are the same colour, and that's double green. So this is double purple. Avoid a checkerboard. Goodness me, Maverick. That's finished the yin yang. Now let's double check the yin yang. That looks great. And that looks great. I can't see any 2x2s. Now, well, we need this to add up to at least 10. So it can't involve a 1. So that is a 5, 7, adding up to 12, and that's a 3 by maths. And now that's a 3 by Sudoku. And this box hasn't got 2, it needs a 4. And now it needs a 6 and a 7. So that's 6, that's 7, that's 6, that's 2. That's 5 in the corner, and that's a 2. Okay, so now that's 5, that's 7. By Sudoku, that is a 7. That's a 4, that's a 4, that's a 2. I need 1, 5, and 6. So that's a 5, 5, 1, 1, 6. And the puzzle's just finished itself. Now, is there any ambiguity that we need to figure out here? Or has it all resolved itself in a likely correct way? It looks good, actually. The lines I was slightly worried about do seem to add up correctly. Let's see. Yeah, felt right, didn't it? Felt right. Beautiful puzzle. There was something in the shadows and we exposed it, and it was a panting dog. There, I've said it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.